your dream with Success Television.
Getting self-confidence is at the heart of success in every aspect of life.
You have to first believe that your dreams can come true for them to happen. If you don't believe they can come true, it's not going to happen.
The first thing I want to do is describe for you 3 sets of skills, of traits, of characteristics that some of the most successful, powerful people living have. After a while, you start hearing the same themes over and over again. And in fact, they're very much the same themes that Abraham Maslow, who was the great psychologist in the middle part of the century, described for us in his hierarchy of needs. A lot of you are probably familiar with his pyramid. Human beings have basic needs: safety, security, love, food, shelter. And then when you get to the higher levels of this pyramid, you start getting to some really interesting core philosophical stuff that throughout the ages people have talked about, and he gave it to us through a psychological prism. These characters give it to us in their own way, through their own personalities, demonstrate it through their own success, and the best part about it is these skills, for the most part, are learnable. These people are very talented, they're high energy, but in terms of devotion to what they're doing, to understanding the marketplace, to moving forward in the face of anxiety, indecision, all those things, and there are many more beyond the first 3 that we're looking at, these are traits, characteristics, skills that you can adopt. Persistence. Howard Schultz tried to get a job at Starbucks for a year and couldn't. People don't know that. This is when Starbucks was just 3 shops in Seattle selling beans and coffee makers and coffee paraphernalia, not coffee by the cup. He was a coffee maker salesman for a Swedish company, and he recognized that there was this little store out in Seattle he'd never heard of that was selling more coffee makers than Macy's. So he went out there to visit. He was so swept up in the ambiance, the romance, the passion that these guys had for their coffee business, he wanted to work there. Took him a year to get the job. He spent a year roasting beans and serving up beans. He spent another year trying to convince them to sell coffee by the cup. They refused throughout those 12 months, if you can believe it. Finally, they allowed 1 espresso machine. They started selling coffee by the boatload. And the founders still didn't want to turn it into a coffee bar. So at this point, Schultz, still devoted to his dream, if not Starbucks at this point, left to start his own coffee shop called Il Giornale, which is a tough name. And he had to speak with 242 investors before he had enough money to launch it. Let's listen to Howard Schultz.
How many people have you met in your life who have said things like, I had that idea, I knew about that, or I was so close, but I gave up? I think sometimes the difference between success and failure, winning and losing, is a very fine line between those people who continue to move forward.
This is the way he puts it. I have a history of people closing doors and me saying, no, it's still open.
If you would like to buy our videos for corporate trainings, go to successtelevision.biz.